Well, it's been a while since I did a movie review, and I'm reviewing a movie that, frankly, I should have reviewed last year, but I never actually got around to it because, I don't know, I'm just lazy. No real excuse. It just took me this long to get around to watching it. And it's one of the most critically acclaimed genre films to come out in a long time. It won, 5, 6 Oscars last year. Mad Max Fury Road. Now, here's the thing about the Mad Max franchise. I've never really been a fan of them. I mean, I really didn't like the first movie that much. I thought The Road Warrior was pretty good for what it was. Really didn't like Thunderdome at all. So I'm not one of those guys who goes into this movie with any sort of long-held nostalgia for the property. It's not like I go into it thinking, okay, it's sacred, you can't touch it. So in that regard, I'm not sort of biased. But yeah, going into the film itself, I gotta say, I don't really see what all the hubbub was about. I mean, I think it was an alright popcorn movie. I'd say, it's probably on caliber of, the Ninja Turtles movie that came out in 2014, was it? The Michael Bay movie. The Avengers. I think it's on par with those movies in terms of overall quality. And neither of those films were nominated for any Oscars, but this one, for whatever reason, had a Best Picture nomination, which I am absolutely I got nothing. I have no idea how this film was considered one of the best of 2012. Maybe the best mainstream movie of May, but the Best Picture all year up. Seriously, this movie is better than Love by Gaspar Noé. It's better than The Look of Silence. It's better than Chirac. It's better than, what else did we have come out last year? It's better than all these films. Better than Straight Outta Compton. These films didn't get nominated for an Oscar, but this one does. So yeah, what did I not like about the movie? Okay, wait, first, let's talk about what I did like about the movie, just to be on the safe side. Yes, the visuals were great. You look at the set design, you look at the cinematography, all of it just terrific. The problem is, if you get beyond the visuals, if you can go beyond the fact that the wardrobe was really cool looking and everything was detailed and the cars were just really, grand, twisted metal stuff. If you look beyond that, you realize there's not a whole lot to the movie. I mean, this is definitely a classical example of a film being all style and no substance, because once you strip away all the visuals, you strip away the car, you strip away all the slam bang action, you realize there's not a whole lot to the movie. I mean, you have a formal introduction, you have 2 super long car chase sequences where nothing really happens as far as getting the characters out there. You have this really long middle part where they spawn in the doldrums, and the character development is just really, really boring and basic and blanded by the numbers. Then you have the big final chase, and then you have the happy ending. So basically, it's just like the last 3 Mad Max movies. So there's nearly nothing new here as far as storyline goes, with some potential furtive commentary underneath it. More on that in just a minute. So plot-wise, not really a whole lot here. You got the evil dictator guy on the respirator, and you got Max, who's a guy who's been abducted by this albino clan, and you got Furiosa, who's the bald chick, who's the number 1 bullet collector, and they're going out, and she goes on a mission to rescue some women because I guess in a post-apocalyptic kingdom, fertile women is pretty much a luxury. So she goes off on a rogue mission to collect them, and Max is tagging along, and he's all distraught because apparently his family died before everything went to heck in the big oil wars. Meanwhile, Furiosa's just trying to get back to her family, and there's a bunch of old women who are snipers living out in the desert, so they hook up with them. And there's one guy who's part of the evil dictator's jihad, his clan of albino warriors, one who defects, and he kind of has a love affair with one of the fertile women, and they come in all shapes and sizes. You got a blonde, you got a redhead, you got a brunette. So whatever they're trying to do, they're going to make sure you have a wide variety of diverse, all white women in the future. Yeah, that's another plot point that kind of got lost on me. And the got the big chases, and like I said, admittedly they're cool, but the storyline, there's just nothing to it because nobody ever really changes. I mean, that's supposed to be like the hallmark of a great movie. Is at the beginning, a person is a certain way, and either they go through this big experience which transforms them, or over the course of the film, you come to understand and grasp why they are the way they are. In Mad Max Fury Road, there's none of that. People are introduced as like just one-dimensional butt kickers, and that's it. Or one-dimensional evil dudes, that's it. They don't change. There's nothing they experience, no great revelations. They just kind of go on basically as they are at the beginning. That's the way they are throughout the entire movie. And on top of that, you have some really, really weird subtext. I know they actually had the woman who wrote the vagina monologues come in as an advisor at some point in the picture. You can look it up. I saw an article in the Hollywood Reporter on it earlier, who talked to George Miller about, kind of getting more feminist subtext in the film. And obviously that kind of comes off of Furiosa. I mean, she's the real main character of the movie. She's running around, driving trucks, she has a bionic arm, and she's rescuing people and fighting the male patriarchy. I mean, you get that in spades. There's this entire segment about, a truck filled with breast milk because that makes the world go round. I mean, it's kind of hard to understand what they're aiming for. I mean, they clearly are making some sort of commentary on misogyny and women's rights, but I don't know. Is this really the movie to do that? Is a film about, post-apocalyptic S&M maniacs driving transfer trucks with spikes on them the best way to kind of discuss rape culture? It's just very heavy-handed. It feels awkward. It doesn't really go anywhere, and it's just overbearing. And it's one of those things that kind of irk me. If you're gonna put a political message in a movie, at least try to make it have a point. At least put some punctuation in there somewhere. Well, that's neither here nor there. And on top of that, there's just a lot of stuff in this film that I just could not grasp my mind around. Like, what's the whole thing with the people spray painting their teeth? Like, it makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, I tried to figure it out. I haven't looked it up on Google, but I'm pretty sure if you go in there and you type in, why do the people in Fury Road, I'm pretty sure the automatic algorithm will spell out spray paint their teeth chrome. It's just something there. It's like the seashells in Demolition Man. Just a great mystery in life, I suppose. And some things they're just in the movie not because they make any sense, because they add anything to the plot, just because they look cool. Like the part with, you see the guys on the dump truck with the bongos and the guy with the flamethrower guitar? No sense. It has absolutely no logical bearings whatsoever that you live in a world where gasoline is rationed, where it's a pivotal commodity, but you have this guy just playing a flamethrower guitar for no reason. None of that, but he's like an ordained guy by like the evil villain. He's okay with that. So that's another thing that just kind of irked me. But I think probably the thing that really, really turned me off the most about the movie was the editing. And it's strange because, like I said, it won the Oscar for Best Editing, right? Okay, I'm totally not seeing that whatsoever. This film is just so confusing. It's kinetic to the point of just being incomprehensible at times. Basically, here's how the cinematography, the cutting in this film works from an editing level. If you give like a mentally disturbed teenager methamphetamine and get him to basically write down a Superman comic book, that's basically the editing that you're seeing in Fury Road. I mean, it's just so jittery and all over the place, and you've got just jump cuts everywhere. And, there's this part where, like, their entire sequence of the movie, they're just washed out in blue and orange, and that's the only color you see. And, to me, it's just, I guess some people like that kind of style, but for me, I just thought it was just kind of a waste of space. I mean, there's so much cool, like, details that you could come through, but you're trying to do, like, this sort of weird, like, expressionistic sort of vibe going on. It just never worked out, It's one of those things where I was watching it going, I'm sorry. I mean, I get the whole hyper-pacing thing, the quick cuts and all that, but I'm sorry, just not working for me. Oh, and the slang. Because they're not using actual English, they're using, like, Australian English. So good luck understanding a single line of dialogue either. So yeah, all that to say, Fury Road, I'm sorry guys. I mean, it was, good for what it is. if I gave it a score, it'd probably be like a C plus, maybe 2.5 stars out of 4. I mean, it's an all right genre film, maybe slightly better than average compared to other action movies being made nowadays. But to say that it's a genre masterpiece, to say it's a film worthy of an Oscar, to say it's an all-time classic that's going to change cinema forever, oh boy, that one is a road